Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest edition of Lowdown Entertainment. I'm your host, Joe Adams, along with my partner, Mr. Bear Slosher. How you doing tonight, Bear?
Really good. How are you?
I'm freaking fabulous.
I'd be better if I was a sponge and could absorb all this weather.
Rained again, which is good because we haven't had rain for probably at least 20 hours. So
we went from drought conditions here in eastern PA to about ready to start flooding in what, a week?
Yeah, because I think tomorrow is going to be
another inch and some change.
Not good.
Not looking good for racing tomorrow.
Friday night racing does not look good, no.
No,
it does not. Before we get started, I have some bad news.
We went 1 week without.
1 week. I just got some information here just a little bit ago. Our deepest condolences to the Craig Klein family. He has passed either last night or this morning. Ironically, today is his birthday, which is
crazy.
It is kind of crazy. Craig could be seen at local racetracks helping David Graber back in the old late model days in sprint car. David runs a sprint car. So our deepest condolences. I can't even talk. Deepest condolences to the entire Klein family and the untimely passing of Craig. So may God bless all of you. Why do we have to start every show off like this? It just seems like
I don't know, man. I thought we were kicking out 2 in a row, maybe.
2 in a row would have been great.
Would have been good.
Yeah, but
you know why? We know a lot of people.
We do, and
sometimes it's not great.
No, it's not. Here's the thing: we all get a turn at it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
But we have a good show tonight. We are going to talk Leo's League. Leo's is literally 48 hours away.
It's here.
It's here already.
It seems like last month was a year ago.
Yeah, and
it's here.
It's happening. It's happening. We are expecting over 100 cars.
Yeah. 100 vehicles, we'll call it.
Vehicles, yes. Yeah, it's not all cars. It could be cars, trucks, motorcycles, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
amusement park rides.
Excuse me?
We'll have one of those.
That's right. We talked about that last week.
Yep.
Sue and Henry Wilt.
Yeah. The Indy 500 Old Dorney Park ride.
We'll be
there.
That's going to be different.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll get into some deets here shortly with Leo. We also have Kevin Thomas Jr. on here tonight. USAC sprint car sensation.
Roll Tide.
He's the guy. And thanks to KTJ, we have all these products sitting in front of us here.
We do.
He is Mr. Inferno Armor, if you're not familiar with that. And, we've been pushing this product here because, number one, it is an awesome product. And number two, we believe greatly in this product.
Yes.
And you have some great news. You have something right in front of you that looks odd compared to what we've seen with some of the other fire extinguishers.
Yeah, so I had these aluminum mounts made up. You could bolt to your pit cart, trailer wall, mule, or whatever. It's got a little recess in the back so your Velcro don't get snagged up there, and she sits right in there.
Right in there.
Holds it nice and tight, and
awesome product.
What do they weigh? An ounce?
It's so light. This is all 6061 T6 aluminum. All CNC'd out. Just an awesome. This was your idea to do this, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
It was a very smart idea.
Nobody wants to have one of these laying in a drawer. It's got to be accessible.
Yes, you got.
And this is the Inferno Armor Race Day extinguisher, by the way. Mm-hmm. Can put out a fully engulfed methanol fire suit in 1.8 seconds.
That's awesome.
Yes. So why everybody on every track and every corner doesn't have one of these at arm's reach is beyond me.
But
that's
products.
My goal to sell them for Kevin.
Great idea with that bracketry there, bud.
Thank you.
You were thinking outside the box. Mallory is joining us. Mallory said she's out of town because she did some kind of wedding thing or something.
Mallory just got hitched.
She did. Congratulations to her and her husband. And she says she's not going to be in town for Leo's, but maybe next year.
Please make it a point to get there next year.
Indeed. And thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Yep.
So Leo's League. Okay, like I said, we're T-minus 48 hours or whatever at this point here.
I was down at the Schnecksville Fire Company last night. Took some stuff down. The basket raffle, which will kick off tomorrow night, Friday night from 6 to 9, you can go there and get your tickets for the basket raffle in early in case you can't make it on Saturday.
Right.
I don't know how big the building is, but there's, I'll say 5 rows of tables.
Mm-hmm.
One row of tables is completely full of just gift cards for local restaurants and stuff. Probably 200 of them. And baskets. It was only Wednesday night, but there was probably, I don't know, 150 baskets already. Huge amount of.
For me, this is like the biggest basket raffle I've ever seen. I've ever seen.
Hands down.
It is massive. And not only is it huge, but the quality of the products available are unbelievable. Unreal.
Yeah. Hey, Mike Feltenberger, thanks for tuning in.
I talked to Mike last night. Be sure to hop on Lowdown Entertainment. Not right now because we're live, but when we're done here, hop on Lowdown Entertainment. Mike does a fantastic segment wrap-up from Wingless Wednesday at Shelley's, and he does a really nice job with that. He recaps all 7 divisions, what's going on there. So be sure to check that out at some point on Lowdown Entertainment. We appreciate Mike hopping on board and hooking us up here. Yeah, I was talking. He said, "You guys didn't have any sound." I said, "You probably."
He tuned in
when we were transitioning.
We fixed that tonight, fella.
We did. We have a little surprise for you. Mark Moore is in the house. He said, "We'll see you guys on Saturday." Mark, we appreciate you bringing your car.
2 cars,
not only 1, but 2.
Yep. So, and then his teammate will be there.
That's awesome. So,
and I really, really appreciate the outreach the last few weeks of everybody that's coming to the show. Whether your vehicle has a motor in it or not, we have push cars, tow trucks. We will get you put in place.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to worry about that.
We're in good shape for that. The field was in good shape last night when I was there. It was not soggy at all. Everything was looking good.
Good.
It's going to rain tomorrow, but the most we're going to have is wet feet for a few hours till the sun dries it up. Maybe.
Then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good. And you know what? This is for pediatric cancer. And if we have to endure wet feet compared to what these little
heroes,
little boys and girls go through, then so be it. We have to deal with wet feet. So
correct.
It's the least we could do. So we're looking forward to it. I just had the Wicked Effects Car Club reach out to me, still confirming that Saturday was on, and I said yes. And I asked how many cars were coming. Still waiting for that response.
He's still
via
typing.
Text. He's still, yeah. So they're a great group of guys. They do a lot for charity events. So we're looking forward to having Wicked Effects Car Club joining us.
And feel free to stop by and just display your vehicle, whatever you have. From 7 to 9 we'll be parking, but you can stop in and drop your car off or whatever during the day, however you want to do it. Leave whenever you need to. We will have the trailer strategically parked so you can get out and get to your local racetrack. It's not a big deal. I mean, they know that that's the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike talked to me about this last night as well. He's heading to the Circle track, the Circle M track reunion. So that only happens like once or twice a year. So you got to kind of take that into consideration. And
well, in fact, this date is not the original date for
we would have done it last Saturday
in the torrential downpours.
Yeah, which would have really sucked.
So that might have been a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely.
It is this Saturday, Schnecksville Fire Company.
Free to get in.
Free to get in.
No charge to enter the facility.
Right. We will have, I think, 11 food trucks, beer garden, bars open, DJ, bands. Melvin will be on site from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms from 12 to 12:30.
We have a cast of characters that are going to be roaming around.
Bowtie Ben will once again be our MC.
He did a great job last year, by the way.
Fantastic. And he sings the national anthem like no one else. And there will be a blood drive again this year, and there's way more interest, thankfully, this year, due to the fact that there's a prize involved. There's a $28 Michael Kors purse that everybody that signs up to donate blood for gets a chance at it.
Unbelievable.
So as of last night, there was 8 time slots left. And last year, I don't know that we had 4 or 5 people actually donate blood.
Yeah.
So if that's what it takes to entice people to go give blood, a nice $500 or $600 purse.
Maybe I'll donate a quarter too, because I need a nice Michael Kors purse for my shoes. And
you should donate all you have.
I probably should. It'd be better off.
Step up, man.
Scott and Sally are in the house. I don't know if it's Scott or Sally or both, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. Peyton Renninger's in the house. Hello.
Hello, Peyton. Hello, Scott and Sally Mekas. So, yeah, come on down Saturday, 10th of May, from 9 to 5.
We will be there.
I will not be there the whole day.
Not the whole day. You have a wedding to go to.
I do.
That seems neat.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy Kohler is in the house. Hi, Stace.
It was
Stacy,
her birthday.
Yes, it was just yesterday. Stacy is one of our Inferno Armor representatives that you can buy Inferno Armor from at the track. You know, she goes to Big Diamond or she goes to Grandview. You can stop over to the Kohler Pit and grab yourself a bottle of Inferno Armor.
Yep, $45. Spray it on your uniform, your seats, your belts, you know, anything that can possibly burn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the cheapest insurance policy you could ever
It really,
get.
truly is. And I've said this many times, and I'm going to keep on saying it. If you're unaware of the product and you're not real sure what this is all about, go to YouTube, type in Inferno Armor, check out the demonstration that KTJ does. He literally takes a paper towel, a regular standard Bounty, whatever paper towel, sprays it with Inferno Armor, and puts his hand behind the paper towel and cooks the front, the front side of the paper towel
within an inch
with a
hand.
torch till it turns black, and his hand never gets hot.
Nope.
So if that's not proof of the pudding right there, I don't know what is. Gary Littlick is in the house. We appreciate you tuning in, buddy. Circle M is good to go on Saturday. Let's hope for nice weather for both events. Couldn't agree more. Deuce Race Fan is in the house. What up, pimps? What up, playa? How you living, dog? How you living? Yeah, lots of food on Saturday at Leo's. It's always
There will be a new monster truck in attendance this year.
Who we got?
It's called Snot.
No, it's not.
I'm telling you, it's Sizz. It is a neon green.
I figured it was.
truck.
I figured it was going to be green.
So that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Looking forward to seeing Snot.
Mm-hmm.
We will have 2 antique fire trucks. I think those are going to be pretty neat.
Fire trucks are always cool.
1935 and a 1937 fire truck.
It's like the year I was born.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff there.
There is. There's,
Our portion is called Cool Cars and More because Leo wants cars. He likes race cars. Mm-hmm. And when you see these kids walk around and they have their little capes on and they're superheroes, man, let them sit in your car, let them touch your car, give them an autograph card, take pictures with them because these are the kids that are struggling with it.
It's true. And
they play all day long.
They love it.
Like nothing's wrong.
Nope.
And it gets you in the feels.
It does. It hits you in the feels very, very hard.
Because you feeling bad about yourself? Stop it.
Yeah. Get over yourself.
Yeah. Yup.
Deuce is large and in charge.
Nice.
True that.
It's the only way to be.
Yeah. It's really nice to meet these young boys and girls. And like you said, a lot of them don't have a care in the world. They're just being kids, and then they have this underlying issue, and it really does smack you around a little bit in the fields. It's really tough, but to see the smile in their faces as they're cruising around, and they love the interaction. The more interaction that they have. So just when you see them, just engage. Joel Smith is in the house. Good evening, fellas. Good evening to you, sir.
His shirts are looking pretty fresh.
I saw. Yeah. Look really nice. The triple nickel with the looks of Grandview running Saturday. I will have the High Banks highlights Sunday morning.
We'll take it.
It'll probably be early.
It'll be when his eyes open.
Yeah, like 6 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Does a great job.
Mike does not mess around at all. No, we really appreciate him coming on board. Peyton Renninger's probably going to do a Big Diamond recap for us if they ever race again.
Just put your umbrella up.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
We will have lowriders in the house.
Cash is coming, isn't he?
And 4 of his friends.
Yeah, we're going
to have 5 lowriders. Awesome. Going to put them right around Snot. Make it look real low.
Yeah, or make Snot look huge.
Yeah, or that.
One of the two.
Let's see. EMT Brown's coming with his Pocono Fire Rescue.
Yes.
Hummer.
Mm-hmm. We got to see him last week.
We did. We took a little field trip to Snydersville.
Did. And you know what? I don't think my permission slip ever got into the principal's office for that.
Did you get in trouble?
I did.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
I got
deserved
I got in school suspension.
ISS.
Wow. Mike said it was actually 5:40 this morning. Dude, take a nap, bro.
Right. Right. Holy smokes.
Peyton says she wants to build a dome over Diamond. It might be your next course of action. Mother Nature has not been a race fan on weekends, man. It's no joke.
I think the Outlaws in town has something to do with it, too. They seem to bring weather with them. They ran Lincoln last night. They got it in. So did Shellhammers.
They did.
Kudos to both track prep crews.
They did.
Because, man, they were up against it. It was muddy.
It was.
And I don't know how Shelley's was, but Lincoln was pretty darn good.
Yeah, they made some junk.
Yes, they did.
Ooh.
Yeah, thank God Brady Bacon's okay. Cause he got junked at the start of a heat race, and, Sean's car is not so hot no more, but, hey, they have a backup, and they put the seat in it today, and they'll be ready for... if they run tomorrow at the Grove.
Tomorrow night at the Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dave Cordier, hats off to him. It's my understanding that there was a couple of 3 inches of water in the infield at like 2:00 yesterday afternoon. And they got it done, man.
And just think last week he was like, the river's really low.
He told me that, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What a difference.
Yep. The G-Man actually wanted to do an infield dive last night. He's done that before.
Seen that. That's terrifying.
G-Man had a decent run last night. Started 20th, finished 9th.
20th?
Yeah. Started deep.
Did he get there late? Missed the heat?
No.
Okay. He likes that hard charger.
He wants to do it the hard way.
Holy cow.
I told him, I saw him last night. I said, I spoke highly of you on the show last week. He's like, he just kind of looked at me like he didn't believe me.
He didn't believe you, right.
And he said, oh, really? He said, well, that's good. I said, now, Bear, on the other hand, kind of threw you under the bus. And you kind of did.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Somebody has to.
It's fine.
We can't both be nice to him.
He brought munchkins last night, and I was up in the tower, and Miss Brenda, so kind, she said, hey, we have munchkins over there. Please help yourself, which I did. And I said, I take it these are from Geezer. And she's like, of course. And I said, I don't know what his donut budget is for the year, but if he would give up his donut budget, he could probably race a 410 on the Outlaw circuit with the amount of money that he spends for donuts. No doubt.
High limit.
Mike said he started sixth in his heat.
What do you get? 17th?
Yeah. Gary, you got that one, buddy?
Yeah, Dave Cordier is a master track prep man. That track is always in good shape when I go there. True story.
It is a true story. Good people.
And they run 2 different programs. They run a Saturday go-kart deal and then a Wednesday open wheel sort of
2
deal.
completely different tracks.
On the same clay.
True story.
Pretty neat.
It is neat.
Not everybody can do that.
No.
I couldn't do it.
No.
I'd have 2 disasters.
Yeah.
Wednesday and Saturday.
But the other 5 days of the week are good.
Sure.
Oh, God.
Repeat.
So where did we go on Saturday again? Let's talk about that. It was my inaugural trip to this.
It was Friday.
Like I said, it was Friday.
Yeah. Snydersville. Up there in Alex Greenswag country.
Yeah, it was nice to see Alex.
Always.
Appreciate
always
it.
good to see them. They really treat us well. They really did into our show. And we love going there, man. The L&L mini mods, they have 13 cars there. They put on a great show. Gary and his son put his cameras on. I made some videos for them guys. It's always good. They did get rained out in the end, but they had double features, complete makeup program from several weeks ago that rained out. And I think the second L&L mini mod feature was 20th on the card for the second round. So they only had 1 or 2 shows to go, and it dumped. Well, we were driving home, and it was
dumped.
It was rough.
It was kind of ugly. Lightning, all kind of stuff was happening. But nice little facility. You ever get the opportunity to go to Snydersville, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's very reasonable to get in. Spend your night there. Everybody's awesome. The food is good.
Everybody's
facilities
so nice.
are good.
Yeah.
There's no dust and dirt in your face, and it's just a well-run place. It's a good deal.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll be doing a L&L mini mod spectacular there on July 11th.
And I told Gary Lurch in a Facebook post, he's got a really nice product there, and he does a really, really nice job just getting everybody organized and doing it. And he was very appreciative of the words I said to him. So hats off to him. Tara Rochelle's in the house. Hello, Tara.
Hello.
See you on Saturday.
Yep.
I'm going to tell Tara she needs to be there by 6. We're going to get there at 7, but she needs to be there by 6.
That's good.
And she should probably stop somewhere and get us some breakfast sandwiches or something.
There's a truck there, food truck.
That would mean that we would have to buy them. But if Tara goes, it gets. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you could just do that, be a doll, and just
Yeah.
bacon, egg, and cheese sauce. Yeah, it's whatever. It's something like that. Sausage, egg, and cheese. Maybe some chocolate milk. Whatever you got.
Right.
So thanks for being a trooper.
Yep. So we will once again be occupying the gazebo this year at Leo's League.
3rd year in a row.
However, we will not be doing a live show with our sound equipment. We will just be Facebook Live in it with our phones.
Yeah.
We will have merchandise set up. I'll have plenty of Inferno armor there, extinguishers there, youth t-shirts, hats, hoodies, beanies, whatever you desire.
Need it.
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of it all. Hi, Zoe.
Zoe in the house. Hello.
I'd like to get rid of it all the old merch line. Get the new merch line going.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Reichenbach, she'll be there with several cars.
How many cars?
Well, they don't know yet. Several people don't know yet. But they have race cars. They have race car haulers. They have classic cars. They have antique cars.
They have cars.
Mm-hmm.
They got stuff. So we appreciate you, Stephanie. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yep. Her and Rick will be there. Can't wait. It's going to be good, man.
That'll be good.
Wombles are bringing a fleet. Geigers are bringing a fleet. Lots of quarter midgets from the Keystone Club.
So that means Mags is going to be there. If the Wombles are going to. So I'm going to have to hide my food. Maggie likes to steal food from me for some reason or another.
Yep.
The struggle's very real. Very, very real.
Earl's car.
That sounded like that pen weighed 80 pounds.
It did. Earl's car will be there. Tyler Henry's car will be there. My son's car will be there.
Mm-hmm. Your son's car is the official Lowdown Entertainment entry.
Yes. And it is officially sponsored by the Weather Channel because every time it wants to go out, it rains.
Yeah. True. That's very true. Speaking of 600 micros, I've been kind of following the Hyperspeed Week thing. They're starting to
quick. Nationally, internationally.
We got 2 Kiwis coming.
We got 2 of them.
Yeah, so we got some down unders coming for the 600 micro speed week has grown exponentially over the past few years, and it is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We definitely have to have Nick Philman on prior to that event.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's a friend of the show, so we definitely need to chat with him and see what's going on.
He's a hell of a fisherman, too.
Really?
Yeah, he's down the shore catching those black drum right now.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good stuff.
Him. Good to get away from the shop for a little bit and make things happen.
Yeah.
No, but it's unbelievable the amount of talent that's coming in for this, and it's when is it, like July 9th or 13th or something like that? Or
I don't know the dates off the top of my head, but it's one heck of a week.
Yeah, it's mid-July. It's gonna be pretty crazy.
Mike Feltenberger invited us back to Strapped In TV.
Did his show a couple years ago. Had a lot of fun.
Did it a couple times. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a good time. Always a good time hanging out with Mike and his Strapped In TV.
Yipper.
I always ask Mike, you know, your show's always called Strapped In, but when I'm on, you call it Strapped On. So I don't know why he goes that way with me. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm starting to take it personal. It's fine, though. It's absolutely fine.
Your birthday's coming up.
No, I canceled it.
Did you? It's tomorrow, isn't it?
No.
I think it is.
No.
9th.
Cancel
May
it.
9th.
Yeah. Yeah, they canceled it.
Retirement age, finally.
Finally.
68.
68. Who knew?
Good deal.
Who knew I'd make it this far? Yeah.
It is tomorrow.
Don't feel a day over 90. It is tomorrow.
I told you it was tomorrow.
You did. You did. I'm trying to trying to forget it because the numbers are getting like not good at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
the numbers used to be like, okay, it was no big deal. Now they're kind of getting weird.
Yeah. I can't believe I made it this long.
Yeah. Mike Feltberger said he has Logan and Ryan Watt on this month. So Logan and Ryan are great interviews. We have had the pleasure of interviewing both of those gentlemen on several different occasions. So
nothing was better than when the kid walked in with 2 championship belts.
Oh my God, he owned it. He just owned it. Yeah. Yeah, he owned it. He had a prom here not too long ago that he went to with a very beautiful young lady.
Was he senior?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is prom
season. It was one of or the Fitzpatrick girl. Very, very pretty girl. So they both look great. So yeah, I think that was just last week or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, it is prom season, man. This year's flying, bro.
Sure it is. Yep. I went past a local high school yesterday, and on their billboard it says they graduate May 30th already. School's over.
Yeah. Before you know it, it'll be Christmas.
Yep. And we'll still won't be racing because it'll be raining.
It'll still be raining. My phone tells me that Corey Edelman is watching right now. Corey, it's good to see you. Have not seen you for a long time. Hope you're doing well.
Corey's bringing 2 cars on Saturday.
Oh, it'd be nice to hang out with him. He's always a treat.
He's a treat for sure.
Good dude. When are we going to see his show?
I'm sure you got to ask him that. He's the busy guy.
I thought you had some inside information.
Nope. He only talks to me when he wants pierogies.
Oh. And man, do you have pierogies.
We do. You can get your Mrs. T's pierogies at Leo's League on Saturday.
Wow. Mike has something here. Any thoughts about bringing a former Reading Fairgrounds racer on for an interview? Yes, we have talked about that in the past, about getting some yesteryear people on there and see what they got going on. Corey says, hello, friends. I'm catching up, and I'll be around more. Well, that's good. And then he also says, what do you mean by treat? It's exactly what it sounds like. You are a treat.
It's like trick or treat.
Even Stephanie says he's a treat already.
Oh, she knows. He's a dandy. What do you say we go to commercial and I dial up Mr. Kevin Thomas Jr.?
We can do that because we're going to get Kevin on. We have some things that we need to chat with him about.
Let's get on this Inferno Armor deal.
Oh, well, let's do it.
So you're going to say we'll be right back?
I have like 11 million buttons I have to push now to make this happen here. So you're in for a little treat right now. Yeah, stay tuned for some more Lowdown Entertainment. We'll be right back momentarily. 11 million buttons I have to push now to make this happen here. So you're in for a little treat right now. Yeah,
Lowdown Entertainment is your one-stop shop. And marine fire extinguishers add another layer of protection and peace of mind for your loved ones. All products are in stock and available for immediate delivery. Shipping is available. And reach out to Bear Slosher at Bear's Inferno Armor on Facebook and order yours today. All products check out InfernoArmor.com for additional product information. This product, reach out to Bear Slosher at Bear's Inferno Armor on Roy Daner Jr. will continue the tradition of paving and excavating excellence that his dad, Roy Daner Sr., established in the Lehigh Valley since 1980. They specialize in residential and small commercial work. Call today for excavating excellence that his dad, Roy Daner Sr., established in the Lehigh Valley since 1980. They specialize in residential and small commercial work. Call today for excavating excellence that his dad, Roy Daner Sr., established in the Lehigh Valley since 1980. They specialize in residential and small commercial work. Call today for excavating excellence that his dad, Roy Daner Sr., established in the Lehigh Valley since 1980. They specialize in residential.
And we are back with some more Lowdown Entertainment. Joining us via phone right now is none other than Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin, how are you doing this evening, bud?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing really, really well. We appreciate you taking some time out and hanging out with us here this evening.
Yeah, no worries.
Are you driving?
Hey, no, I'm sitting outside, actually.
Oh, okay.
Just
Got
chilling
some background. It sounded like a highway.
Yeah.
Cutting in and out.
No, you're
Hold on
good.
1 second. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, there we go. Had headphones in, sorry.
No problem, Kevin. So, how's your 2025 season going so far for you?
Well, when it comes to racing, not very good.
I asked
we struggled.
gingerly.
Yeah, we've struggled quite a bit. But I mean, we've done quite a few things in the off season to, kind of revamp our program and just learning some things. So, I mean, the season still is young, it's just now May. So, we're going to some good tracks for us personally. If we're going to go back on the stat book. But, we've been working on some stuff. The midget program, it come hot out of the box, so no complaints with that. But the sprint car side, we changed cars over the winter, changed a few things, so we're just trying to get those things figured out. And I think we're going in the right track. Just got to get qualified. That's our biggest thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the midget program, what do you think of those guys over there at Four Kings?
I really like them. Obviously I've raced with Matt Westfall forever.
Yeah.
So I know him personally, and then on a business standpoint, I feel like Rex and Fred over there that own the team, they do things very proper. Even starting last year, whenever we got together and I ran a couple races for them, we had some stuff that maybe wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't capable of winning, but it wasn't going to get there quick. And they made wholesale changes, and, they really revamped their program nicely. And, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes with Matt, his dad, JB. They got a pretty good crew over there, and, they do what it takes to win. So it's, there's nothing to complain about. That's for sure.
Right.
I hate saying it, but they spend the money and they put a good crew in place, and they bought the correct parts. And, I don't know if they hired the best midget driver, but, whenever if you got a good race car, at the end of the day, race car driver's a race car driver. So,
yeah.
they give me, proper equipment and the opportunity right out of the box to go win. So, we got good speed. And that's the name of the game with midgets. You just damn near run them wide open the whole time. So, if you got a good engine package, and we do with Stanton, and then, our cars and shocks and the crew all kind of combined into one little deal there, it rolls pretty smoothly, actually.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to work with them last year at Midget Week the whole week, and man, it was a blast. They're great guys, and I wish you guys.
Yeah, they're really good. They're good people before racing.
Yes. Yep. The whole family.
It's easy to race with.
Nice.
Kevin, we have a question here for you in chat from Mike Feltenberg. He says, any idea who he is teaming up for in the 2026 Chili Bowl?
I'll be running for the Four Kings.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be running for Four Kings. We talked about it last year, obviously, but I think, I had commitments to Alex Bowen Racing. He's a friend of mine. I didn't want to do that. I just feel like that's not right. And, but once we, run a full season together, and, and Alex knows too, like we've, formed a relationship, and like that's going to be my full-time team. I would rather go to Chili Bowl and race a car that I drive all the time, I guess, so to speak.
Right.
It's a little bit more comfortable, and not saying Alex's weren't or anybody else's, it's just, you just get used to it, seat fits in a certain spot. And
yeah.
It's just like little stuff that you wouldn't think that matters. Sometimes it does, just a comfort thing.
Yeah, just from a psychological standpoint, we talk to many drivers about that kind of stuff, and just having them feel comfortable gets you in your right frame of mind, and you can just focus on what you need to focus on instead of having something very small, kind of like nitpicking at your brain, like it just doesn't feel right or whatever. So I feel it's very important.
Yeah, it's very, very. It's bigger than what you think it is. It's because you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't touch it. So sometimes you think that it's not there, and it just is there at times. So once you find a way to eliminate that and or just minimize it, it's kind of what we're doing with the sprint car. Everything's new. They've done the same thing for 8 to 10 years, and even last year, and we made a wholesale change to try to keep up with the times, and we had like a little bit of a setback figuring out what the car wants, and we are committed, and I know that my car owner, he's also committed as well. Like, we understand, like, this was a flip of the coin. It's either going to be real fast in Florida or it's not. We're going to have to figure some things out. And unfortunately it wasn't, but we've made quite a few changes. We ran a couple local shows to figure some things out, and just trying different stuff and see if we can hit on something. We were very consistent. We know where to go. Like at the end of the year last year, like we know what package we can go back to, but consistently fourth is not fun.
Right.
And, we got to find that little bit of extra. And, and it's new for me, the packages, I guess, that I have ran in the past. I'm used to, let's say, a DRC chassis. Mm-hmm. I know that they all are just tubing. I get it. But there's just certain little things that feel wise are different. It's like whenever I had my own stuff, I had, Speedway engines, and just stuff was a little bit different. And, not everything is eye for an eye whenever it comes to race cars. And, but we're getting it figured out. It doesn't look like it on paper. And I get that probably everybody's either laughing or wondering what the hell's going on. And I'm like, it's not that big a deal right now. Now, if that lasts for a year, that's a big deal. But,
you guys will get it figured
It's
out.
honestly no different than a baseball player getting into a hitting slump. There's sometimes you go out there and everything just clicks and you can't do anything wrong. And then there are times you go out there and you feel like you're doing everything exactly the same and you can't do anything right. And, it's tough.
Yeah. And that's just where we're at. At the end of the day, we don't publicize. I'm not even big on social media. I don't give a shit whether people know what I'm doing or don't, or I don't care if they even want to. Pretty private in that aspect. But, we've kind of set up, not for the long haul. That sounds weird, but, we've more or less kind of set up knowing that we're going to have continuous years together. Yeah. And that's a big thing for me personally. One, because I haven't been in that position. I've either owned my own car, in between rides, this, that, and the other, kind of been a little scattered and not very consistent with what I'm driving. Won a lot of races, but not with the same people. And I want to more or less like physically change those things.
Yeah.
I think it's good for relationships and things of that nature too. But, whenever you look at teams, and I'm running something different than what I've always ran, and we want to build a base package that's going to continue to be good for a long period of time. And sometimes you just go through like little stuff to find that extra edge. And unfortunately we took a step back. We run 12th like it's our day job. But I feel like that's short term. Everybody's putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah.
You would think, if you know me, you would think that I would be spazzing out right now. But I'm kind of not. And just cause I got some faith in our guys, and, we added a guy, that's going to be starting on Friday. And, I think he's going to be a good asset to the team as well. So it's, everybody's kind of doing what they can do or have to do, to get the most out of our situations. And, there's just little things that add up that we have tried that maybe we shouldn't have tried them at a certain place. Eldora, probably not a place to try things. Go back last year, we ran second and fourth, so we had a good package, but second and fourth, those don't equal a number one.
Right.
And we want to try to get there. And, we added a 2 after that one this time. So, we'll, go back to the drawing board, and, there's going to be times that we may just go back to our comfort zone to just get a finish.
Yeah. And the end zone, and you know what you guys are working towards. So you guys will get there.
Yeah. And I know that there's been people like, man, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, y'all, I have done this before.
Right,
I've gone and searched, and I finally find something. Not me personally, I say it's a we, but we find something, in a group effort, and next thing you know, then we'll win 10 races. And everybody's like, oh, great. And I'm like, yeah, I'll forget about the last year whenever we basically test and tune for a year in order to find these things. So it's like, this isn't the first time I've been winless in May.
Right. Yeah. And doing the same thing over and over and following what everybody else is doing gets you nowhere.
Yeah. And we could do those things and be super consistent, and we can just be like, all right, great. We set the record for the most top 5s. Well, that's stupid.
Right. Nobody wants that.
That's not fun. I would rather run 12, 50 times in a row and figure out how to win than be like, oh yeah, we've been a 5th place car all year. Like that takes the fun out of winning, I guess.
Exactly. Well, I, for one, really appreciate what you're trying to do and keep a team together and let it gel. So many times teams get together and they don't have a chance to gel, which is very, very important. It gives you a peace of mind. It gives owners a peace of mind. It gives the crew a peace of mind.
And sponsors a peace of mind.
And
100%, man.
Yes.
Because I've even been in those situations where, I get into them in the wing car a lot. Obviously, it's like, I know I can drive a wing car, but whenever your first laps in a wing car or hot laps of the Knoxville Nationals, like, get lost if you think that anybody can do that and they've never done it before.
Yeah.
And, it's like, I usually run 3 a year, and then, you get into a spot where you're just like, I can do it, but I know that there's somebody out there that is more experienced than me, maybe not talented, but more experienced, and can hop in and get them a better result immediately.
Right.
And I said this the other day, learning curves are as much on car owners as it is drivers.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
And, there's been some non-wing guys that go in, and Chris Wyndham, for instance, he hadn't been with the same team yet. And that may be a choice of himself. I'm not sure. I don't want to speak for him, but it's like, hasn't been in a scenario where, it's been a consistent thing for more than 300 days.
Yeah.
And that's tough on a guy whenever it's new. Yeah. Now, I think he is taken well to the 7S car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they seem more committed, obviously. Like, Noss is committed to him, so, like, he's got good things going for him.
Right.
But it takes a couple years, and, it takes a notebook.
It does. There you go.
And
true.
And those are the things that I guess they seem a little frustrating from a driver's standpoint that wants to get into either new things, try new things, try to be faster, because you always do have that flip of the coin of this shit might not work.
That's right.
And so we have to, give it some time. And, this is a performance-driven sport, 1, and 2, it's a pretty short-lived life as well as the driver. You only got so much time before either another 15-year-old's coming with, a big old sack on him, and next thing you know, they're going to have a little bit of money, and now you're a veteran at 33, and you're like, oh crap, that happened fast.
Yeah, it does.
So
it does.
And the results may not get there fast. And, I think it's as much on car owners as it is drivers these days.
Well, I think one of the biggest problems is that we live in the era of instant gratification. And, it's everything in life. And it certainly has trickled down to the racing world. so many people think, okay, we're bringing this hot shot in, and he's been in the car for 3 weeks, and we have not even hit the podium yet. So let's move on to the next one. And it's like you said too,
you don't get a shot.
Yeah, these 15-year-olds are rolling in, and they have stacks of money, and they're bringing bags, and it's very enticing, and it goes back to that. Well, maybe this is my instant gratification. So I love your slow and steady wins the race procedure here, because I think long term this is going to just be beneficial for you and everybody else involved with your team.
Yeah, which is new to me. I haven't always done that, and I've done the other things too, more or less rip the Band-Aid, so to speak. So,
right.
That doesn't always work out either. It may be instant gratification like that. You hop in a brand new car, everything's new, feels great, blah, blah, blah. You win a couple races, turns out they're embezzling money, and you're like, oh, that sucks. So it's like, not that I've ran into that situation, it was just for instance, but, so there's just things that, grass ain't always greener. It's green where you water it. So
that's right.
I'm getting older, losing a little bit of, my reputation, I guess I have. So we're trying to.
You'll get it back, brother. I do have a question from chat here. What is your favorite Eastern Storm track?
Oh, it gives me fits, but it's Grandview.
Nice.
I like Grandview. I always run well there. I've never won there. It pisses me off. I've led laps there, and I've given them away as short as coming to the white. But I really like Grandview. We don't go there anymore. We went there more in a midget, and we went there one time in a sprint car. But I like Path Valley.
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like Path Valley.
A storm show there.
It's not good for your cell phone service, but
no.
It's you're kind of just going through the motions there, because you don't got race monitor, you don't got nothing, so you're just going all off a feel, and it's kind of fun. But I like them all, man. I like them all. Not that I'm the best at all of them. We've won twice at Williams Grove. That's cool. I like that. To have that even on my resume.
Yes, it's a very iconic track.
Yeah, it's great. I didn't grow up watching sprint cars, but ever since I knew what a sprint car was, I knew what Williams Grove was. So,
yes.
So there's just like little things. Port Royal, obviously the facility one is immaculate.
Agreed.
It is real fast in a non-wing car.
Mm-hmm.
And it does even whenever it's slick, it does some strange things. To a race car that we don't feel normally. So that's new. It's fun.
If you don't,
not fun.
I hate to interrupt you there, but can you elaborate on that? Like you said, the car does strange things that you're not used to feeling normally. Like, do you have any examples of that? Because I'm curious about this now.
Mainly, they helped us out, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, by putting a little banking in, just past the center of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can kind of run up on it, but there's times when it used to not fall off, but for a non-wing car, it felt like it was falling off. We have zero help once we get to that point.
Gotcha.
And, but it's almost like turn 1 runs downhill, and it kind of dives down. You don't see it in a wing car. I've even ran a wing car there, and you don't really feel it as drastic, but in a non-wing car, it gets light.
That's interesting.
For a minute.
Yeah.
And, it's odd, because, you're going 100 and I don't even want to know, actually. But,
I bet you're doing $140 there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to guess.
Yeah. You're not spinning the wheels during hot laps, and you're full throttle with a 5.0 gear in it. You're going to go fast at some point. So, it just does different stuff. The straightaways are real long, and I know a Terre Haute is too, but it just does different stuff than Terre Haute at times. And it's not every time. And it may just be, product of said race car that you're driving at that period. So, but I've been there times when I really love it. I've been there times when I was like, man, this 30 laps can't go fast enough.
Yeah, I get it. Wow.
But it's challenging. You can't be a sissy.
Yeah.
No.
You either got to be real dumb or real brave. Or
There's a high pucker factor at port.
There's a huge pucker factor at the port. Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I got
but no, I like coming out there, and y'all sell good for T-shirts. So it makes my life happy.
The Pennsylvania fans will spend money on merchandise.
We gobble up merch when you guys roll in, man.
I'm telling you, it's like you guys lost all of your clothes the week that we get there, and I love it. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not shitting on it, but I'm just like, I've never seen people. They'll buy 5 shirts. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't even like me that much.
It's amazing what the merch sales are, and they've been strong, and they've been getting stronger as the years go on. It's mind-boggling.
I don't know what goes on, and I get because we're not there all the time, and it's actually a sprint car world that we're going to. There's times that we go to places we haven't been to. They're not sprint car worlds.
Right.
So it doesn't get the same effect, but even in California it doesn't get the same effect. But, you come out there, and if you're not stocked up, you're going home early.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing, the importance of this is that when guys like yourself and your other comrades there actually get new T-shirt artwork just to come east because it's going to be a special thing.
It's going to sell out.
It's going to sell out.
Yeah.
The other thing
we have. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, and the other thing too is you said it there. You're not here that often, and a lot of people, even though we're huge race fans and we love racing, we get locked in with our weekly program. And it's the same weekly program. It's the same guys going in the same circle and the same people watching the same guys going in the same circle. And when guys like you come in, it's just like a breath of fresh air, and it just lights everything up, and everybody just gets excited.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's a ton of fun, man. It's just something different. I mean, even the fans in general, they're just different.
Yeah.
And if they don't like you, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks real bad.
Because they'll let you know.
Yeah, but they're just. I remember the first time I ever took a Jello shot. I wasn't even of age yet. I didn't even know what a Jello shot was. I was at Grandview. I ran second. This guy throws them over the fence. I'm on the front stretch, and I'm just taking them. And I'm like, "What are we doing?" And it was just a wild experience.
Yeah.
Cause I just never, that was my first time to Pennsylvania in general. And I'm like, these guys are on another level. I've never seen this.
We are not playing here, brother. We do not play.
No,
we take this shit really serious.
Yeah. And that's the worst place for a rain out too, because you guys, y'all drink beer like I've never seen.
You're not
crazy.
lying.
And then you'll wake up at 6:30 the next morning and go cut grass. I'm like, y'all are psychos. I can't do that.
Yeah. Welcome to Eastern PA.
I ain't built like that. I ain't even ashamed to say it. I can't do that.
Oh my God. I'm laughing, and Bear's laughing here too, because it's so true.
Yes.
Oh man. I've seen it. It's crazy. You go out, everybody, you get rained out, especially, I know y'all are familiar with it, but the Park Inn, which was, what was that, Mechanicsburg?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd stay there, and God forbid if we get rained out, we're out there playing beach volleyball, swiping our credit card as fast as we could.
Right.
And you look out the next morning, the only people that are out in the parking lot doing maintenance are Pennsylvania cars. I'm just like, these guys
getting after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll see a Buckwalter out there. I'm like, good Lord.
Well, I'll tell you something. I used to help Timmy, and he don't sleep. We race, and then the next thing you do is you go to the car wash. It could be 4 a.m. You're washing tires. You're washing the car.
Yeah.
You take a nap. You get up. You maintenance. It's not
he's
easy.
A soldier.
It's not easy.
No. It's. Hey, they're built different out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. It's in the water, I believe. Kevin, have another question from chat here. Does he change his driving style for time trials? That is directed towards you, obviously. Do you have a different driving style specifically for time trials?
It depends on where we're at, but yeah. I mean, generally, yeah. I try not to be, which if you ask some people that I'm a dirty driver, and I'm like, I literally run all year with the same Nerf bars, so I don't know how that happens. But
right.
I generally try to, especially like at at a bigger place, I try to run it as straight as possible and try to have as much speed. Then, like if I'm racing, I try to either tighten my car up where I can like slide across to things and like see what the track's doing. So yeah, on the short tracks, not as much because they're pretty self-explanatory. But big tracks, I try to run a line that's different. Obviously you're holding your breath for 2 laps.
Right, yeah, right.
Qualifying a non-wing car is just like, it's a suicide mission, realistically. You're just like, I'm supposed to crash doing this, but hopefully I don't. And, so yeah, generally, yes, whenever you come to like Lawrenceburg or bigger, like a big diamond or, a Bridgeport, places like that, you try to run the racetrack a little bit different. It may not be as much driving style, but just get 2 laps of momentum, and try to get as much speed built up as you could.
Right.
So yes and no. That's a good question, actually.
Yeah. Lawrenceburg will bite you quicker than shit too.
Oh yeah.
Whew. That place.
Yeah,
is
Lawrenceburg's not friendly.
No. I got a question too, Kevin, before we get to the Inferno Armor stuff.
Yeah.
Where did it all start? You're from Alabama. Where did your career start? What did you start in? We all know where you're at now.
I started in sprint cars.
Your first ride was a sprint car.
So
you don't hear that
ish,
often. No.
Ish, kinda. So I raced like BMX. I raced some dirt bike stuff. I played a lot of baseball. I had a scholarship to go to college, but at that time, whenever I was like 16, I graduated at 17. So, I'm in 11th grade and we're kind of traveling back and forth, to Indiana to race. But before that, my dad raced micros, like 600 micros. He raced 270s before I was born. My dad grew up in Memphis, so he went to West Memphis a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I guess my dad got sprint car fever.
Yeah, the whole open wheel concept. Yeah.
Yeah, so he watched sprint cars, as a kid on, Saturday nights instead of your normal in the South late models, and because there's late models all around me.
Absolutely.
But we didn't go to, and then my dad actually ended up, he ran like, it was called the O'Reilly UMSA, which was like a micro tour. And, we had like 10 or 12 cars that followed us. It was just a little small micro tour. And I ran like 10 races, 12 races maybe. And then my dad literally said, if you beat me, we'll go get you a sprint car. Cause I saw sprint cars. I want to say it was at West Memphis. It was at West, or maybe Memphis Motorsports Park. I can't remember back then whenever it was still around. But I saw non-wing cars there, which they were non-wing 305s at the time, and then like 360 wing cars. And so I kind of saw them more than I saw late models anyways, just because of where we raced a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's only like 3 hours from my house. So kind of the same scenario. I just saw sprint cars before I saw late models. And I was like, man, that'd be fun, this, that, and the other. I had no recollection of a checkbook, pure idiot. At 14 years old, I was like, yeah, I would love to do that. My dad was like, yeah, I bet you are. I bet you would be.
Bet you would.
So he said, you beat me. And my dad was really good at them. And he said, you beat me. And he goes, we'll go get you a sprint car.
Man, that's
literally
awesome.
I hadn't beat him yet.
Yeah.
Two races later, Talladega short track, drove around him and ended up beating him. And I ran second, he ran third, and I just hopped out. I was like, all right, when are we getting a sprint car? That was it. That was my last one. There was no plan.
Awesome.
There was very unorthodox, no real sprint car hit. Like, we got a sprint car. We had I'm sure some Pennsylvania people, I know Southern people, up here in Yankee country, they ain't going to understand it, but we had a lean-to against our carport.
We understand that.
We know what that is.
We know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lean-to against a carport is diabolical. So, that we even kept our car outside. Hell, we didn't know any better. We had 4-wheelers and stuff. A shop, we didn't even know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept our stuff outside, and like it was out of the rain, and had we put some siding up around it, but it don't get cold enough down there, so it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way we did it for like a year. And man, we had no idea what we were doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I was virtually my 15th race ever in a race car was a non-wing sprint car at Danville, Illinois. And we ended up running 10th, and I was like, oh, this shit's easy. and then I went USAC racing shortly after that, and I was like, oh, this is no longer that easy.
Yeah.
And
a little bit.
And it was just a circumstantial thing. I want to say like 12 cars finished. But it was just like on the stat book. I was like, oh, yeah, I could do this. And I realized real quick that this is going to be a lot more work. And I was in the 11th grade at the time. I played baseball my senior year. I had to choose between college and or racing. And it gave me such like just a new experience and a new, I guess, challenge. And at the time, I was 17 years old. So I was like, oh, new challenge. Let's do it. I didn't know it was going to turn into a career.
Go conquer this one.
Or I didn't know I was going to still be learning it at 33. And I'm like, damn it. So like, I'm in it now. And, so it's a bit of a different story. My family wasn't really a racing family. My dad had the racing itch. But that was it. My mom wasn't all about it. My stepmom, whenever they got married, she didn't know what she was getting into either. Nobody in my family on mom or dad's side knows racing and or understands it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like I'm just by myself up here, really. And I'm the one that just does crazy sprint car racing. And there's like, okay.
Yeah. You're cutting your own path.
It's different.
Yeah. I was going to say, how pissed is mom that my Kevin's got a full ride deal for baseball to college? We're going racing, Ma.
She knew something was coming whenever I started racing. Because, I'd won some championships on a bicycle and raced dirt bikes. So she knew I had something in me that wanted to go fast wreck stuff. But she didn't know what direction it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just went north. So, she loves it. My mom follows it all the time, but even, 15, 16 years in my career, they're still like, well, I don't understand how you even got to where you got, and which is cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
But they even sometimes, especially like on my mom's side, my dad, he comes up here, he gets to, my mom's a teacher, so she don't get to come up here except for, a couple months, especially the way the school years are these days. Dang near keep them poor things in school all year round. But, so she doesn't get to come as much as what my dad does, but, and obviously my dad owned my cars for a little bit. So he's just a little bit more like physically involved. And, but man, it's been a fun journey. There's some ups and downs and stuff, and
sure,
even some conversations about, 3, 4, 5 years into my racing career of like, damn, did I mess this whole deal up? And, it turns out it didn't, but I did have to do a lot of work in order to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot of people that were involved in that process as well. My wife being one of them. My wife helped me grow up more than anybody. Just because I still am, but I was way more hot-headed than what y'all see now. And, back before, social media ran the world, there's shit would go flying. But I come from football and baseball. Shit goes flying. That means, okay, that's fine. You just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You go run the next play,
Right.
Yeah.
Get back out there, next at bat. It's a completely different scenario. And the way I was taught, in the South, especially football, let it out. You want to fight on the sideline? Fight on the sideline.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. As long, you better run the damn play right the next time.
Exactly.
But y'all can fight on the sideline all you want.
Yeah.
As long as you do your job. And like bringing that mentality into racing, I learned very quickly. I was like, oh, we got to read from a book here and do what everybody else wants us to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah. I'm physically not built that way. I've tried to do it, and I like damn near go into depression trying to do it. And I'm like, I can't do what you guys want me to do. Like, this is just how I get the results. And I've even had a lot of people that, be like, man, you're too hard on yourself. I'm like, yeah, but you weren't there whenever this whole formulation came about.
Yeah.
This is just how I get results. So if it offends you, unless you want to pay my Duke Energy bill, I really don't care.
Right.
Exactly.
Amen to that.
Exactly. No, you're just a passionate competitor.
He's
and
real.
That's what it is. It's you want to get to the next level, and sometimes we get pissed when shit don't go right. And that's what we do.
And racing is a weird spot too, because you're always accessible.
Mm-hmm.
There's no locker room. There's no halftime.
True.
There's no
good point.
There's some guy asking for an autograph at your side door, and now I get you need to be respectful, but there's times that they see some stuff and they're just like, oh, all of a sudden I'm not a fan, and I'm just like, well,
yeah,
this is reality.
Well,
buddy.
it's hard when you have your little kid or whoever comes up to you, wants your autograph, and the only thing you're thinking about is choking the guy out that just dumped you. So it's a tough discipline, man. It's a really tough discipline.
Yeah, nowadays they got a microphone in your face before you even climb out of the car.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if it's just getting older and caring even less than what I did. But I'm just like, man, this is just me at the end of the day. Like, I get mad if I don't run good. Yes. Yeah. I get mad if the car sucks. I get mad if I made a wrong decision. Yeah, I get mad. That's like that's what I do to motivate myself and to focus.
Right.
I find it real hard to care about other people's feelings because, like, I don't race for other people's feelings.
Yes.
Now, I'd love to have fans, but if my fans don't accept what I am, then I really don't want them as fans anyways.
Right.
Boy, does he sound like us.
He does. He sounds just like us. Like this is what the stuff we talk about.
Yep.
Now, there is a fine line between that and disrespectful.
Absolutely.
There is.
Yes, all day long.
And but I've told some people this before that are fans that have mentioned things, and I was like, what I think is disrespectful is you coming up into my trailer while I'm trying to have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So I don't say anything stupid once I come out. Like, you got to give me at some space.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
If not, like, let us have a locker room. Let us have some, and the doors on the back doors of the trailer have helped quite a bit with that. But, But like, I need some space before I, spout off, want to rip somebody's head off type situation. And it's nothing anybody else has done. Half the time I'm mad at myself.
Yeah. You just you need to decompress. That's respectable.
Yeah. And it's a 5-minute situation, but it's, sometimes they see you in that 5 minutes and they judge your whole life off of it. And I'm just like, okay, I see what road that we're going down here. So
yeah,
exactly. One really quick question here from chat before we move into your awesome product, Inferno Armor. Have sprint car chassis changed drastically in the last few years?
I wouldn't say changed. Now we've had quite a few add-ons. I think they're good add-ons. Obviously, at the start they were called Berry bars, but they're like the safety cage, at the midways of the cockpit hole. Man, don't say that out loud, huh? So, we got that. I feel like there's been some other, chassis manufacturers that put halos and stuff on it. I'm not a fan of the halo, and my reasoning behind it is so stupid, but I'm not. I don't like it because I can't put my helmet on top of my seat. So dumb. But that's the reason why I get all weird, and I'm short, so like I can't put it on top of the halo and still grab it. So so it's a problem.
It's real world things, man. There's real world problems,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put. Go ahead. Sorry, Ken.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, I'm not going to put my toothbrush in the top, drawer. That way I can't get to it. Like, I need my helmet accessible.
Exactly.
Right? No, last night, Brady got banged up pretty good at Lincoln, and that mid-rail bar, I think, might have saved him because that cockpit was torn up pretty
cleaned the
good.
top of that thing off.
Well,
Sure
man,
did.
Not good.
Yeah.
No, it was ugly.
And I think there may be other things. I'm not a chassis manufacturer, and I don't know stress points and, things of that nature, but I don't see that the stuff that they've done as being anything bad. So I don't ever have an issue with it. Not that my issues would matter to the rest of the world, but I don't mind them. I don't notice them. They're just kind of standard now.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just something that I think it was a good add-on. It was a good spot to put it. And, because, we do need it, in my opinion. There was a spot, there on top of the halo that, that's a weak. I mean, it's inevitable. It's a long piece of tubing to not have any sort of brace. So,
right.
People have done their job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All the chassis manufacturers, I don't think that there's an unsafe chassis, relatively speaking, that we race.
That's good to hear.
That's
I think
very
people
good.
try stuff. I do think that, but
Well, people try to get cute to save weight and stuff like that, and it's kind of not the right spot to do it.
yeah, I mean that, and I'm going to say this later, but that's people choosing speed over safety.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just do that.
Well, speaking of safety,
Yeah, good
this is a
segue.
perfect segue here because
Thank you. I've been working a long time with this.
I tell you what, you're full smooth. And here's a tip from me to you personally. If you ever write a book about your career, you got to name the book From the Lean-To to Victory Lane. So there's your book title. So,
Deal.
excuse me. So you have an amazing product that you have offered to the public in Inferno Armor. I guess my first question to you that I'm so curious about, how in the world did this even come to fruition? How did it happen? And thank God it did happen.
Yeah, it all started, I was in my garage in my lab. No, I'm just kidding. But, there's a group of people behind this product, obviously motorsports, and I hate saying it, but like my face being able to promote it.
Yeah.
And was the easiest thing to do. It made the most sense. And, it has the most, I guess, win-lose percentage, especially with and I guess that's my way of putting it. The things that happen inside of race cars and the things that happen, whenever you have accidents, whether it be like a chassis manufacturer creating safety protocols and or fire situations, where people end up going to the burn unit. So there was not a void, and that's where I guess a lot of people, sanctioning bodies, random people, they get like this thought of we're trying to either A, replace a suit, or B, make a suit better because it wasn't good enough. And like, I run Henchman Racewear. K1 race suits are top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Simpson race suits are top. They're all top notch. They all do their homework. They all pass all the regulations. There was just a little bit of a void that no material is going to ever do.
Agreed.
Like ever. So unless we're out there rolling around, we're going to look like snowmen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's not, our whole thing is make things lighter, more breathable, because at the end of the day, what goes in a suit is a human being. And whenever we race and it's 95 degrees, something that's 6-7 layers in order to block all the heat out is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do that. We're going to die of heat exhaustion before we ever catch on fire.
Exactly.
So there is a line there of like, what can we get away with and how much can the body withstand? And whenever it comes to heat is our biggest problem, because the suits do what they do. They do a good job.
Right.
It's very, very rare that you get a burn from the actual fire. You get the
Correct.
burn from the heat.
Yeah.
And what our product does is just adds a heat barrier. We don't add anything else. Now, the way that the product is made and the things that it does well does add protection. Yes, that's inevitable. Obviously, you can see the paper towel trick to a cloth, to a paper towel, whatever it is. It does add where it won't ignite to a straight flame. Now, if you get fuel on you, that fuel is going to ignite. If you can stop that, then great, good for you. But that's going to ignite. The thing is whenever that fuel does ignite, we don't want that heat transfer to get to you.
Right.
Or we want to minimize the amount of heat that does get to you and maximize the amount of time it takes for you to get the hell out of there.
Every second is precious in these scenarios. It's
cliche to say, but it's true. You know, second, third degree burns, they don't take long if you're exposed to enough heat.
Right.
You know, you can get a second degree burn by holding your hand over the stove. You don't even got to touch the stove.
Right.
You just got to get close to it. So, you know, you're dealing with fuel that burns, 15, 2,000 degrees. Well, that's a problem. And that's a problem that suit manufacturers have went out of their way, and they make sure, and even, sanctioning bodies, you see the World of Outlaws, you see with MedStar, you see High Limit with MedStar, USAC, they got the Lawrenceburg crew. All these guys, they're spending, those guys ain't cheap.
No.
And they shouldn't be cheap either.
Right.
Cause they're very good at what they do. But there is just times, racetracks that we go to, let's just say a Lawrenceburg, for instance, it'd be real hard to get out of that ballpark, but it's possible. And if everything's parked inside, how are you going to get outside? So there are just times that you don't ever want them to happen. But I would rather prepare for worst case scenario and just be prepared.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you being proactive in this situation instead of being reactive, because when you're reactive, that means something really turned to shit really quick, and now we're reacting. So this is just proactive in its best form. Yeah.
And, you deal with, you just deal with scenarios that, it is a heat protector. And that is the gist of it, and it's such a simple process. One, it works for many different varieties of professions as well. We have a lot of welders that use it. We have oil and gas workers. We have race car drivers. Anything you can kind of think of, because it's a fairly universal product whenever it comes to people being exposed to heat. Usually if you're exposed to heat, you're wearing clothing.
Right.
Generally, hopefully. And, unless you're sunbathing, I guess.
That Pennsylvania posse again.
Some of you guys may weld in a cutoff shirt. I'm not sure. But, there's just people, just everyday scenarios, and it's not for everybody at every given moment. Now, can it work in situations every single day at majority of places that you look around and see, whether you're having a bonfire? Now, I know that we've survived for whatever it is, however many years we all been alive, of having bonfires without having any protection. We don't care. We're out there drinking beer, doing things. But it's like, well, that's how forest fires get started. It's just one wrong thing that leads to another. You can just spray it right around the bonfire. It will never escape that. It just won't happen unless it rains. But if it rains, it puts the fire out. So it's like, you're
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah. And it's just like different scenarios like that. But those are just the avenues that we wanted to go down, because we saw just kind of gray area situation that we felt like needed to be not controlled. I'm not going to say that we have some Superman of a product. I mean, some people may say that, but it's not invincible.
Right.
But does it give you more time than anything else that you're going to do for that scenario? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I have like these dummy arms that Henchman makes me, and they just wrist to armpit. And I spray methanol on it after I've treated it with inferno armor. I light it on fire. I've held it there 40, 50 seconds. And then I just put it out with our extinguishers.
Wow.
That's a good tag. Yeah. We're getting there.
Man, these lead-in segues are awesome.
Yeah. I'm on the phone a lot nowadays.
I see that.
But, I just put it out. And it's not because I couldn't go there any longer. The conversation was over. I proved my point.
Right.
And at that point, that's a minute, let's just say, because I could have lasted easily another 10 seconds because I kept adding fuel to it because it was burning all the fuel off of it. Right. So I ran out of fuel before I ran out of our product working. And wow. I feel like that is as good of a sign. I don't have to be, some scientist and do all that. That's a real life test on my forearm that I'm looking at right now with 0 burns on it.
That's right. Right.
I don't need to ask anybody. That's real life.
Yeah. And that's what's so cool about it. Like when Bear first got involved with you and obviously he's the Northeast distributor up here and he's been moving a lot of your product. It's one of these,
he does.
It's one of these things where man, this product is so awesome and we want to protect everybody, but we never want anybody to actually have to go through the process of seeing how well it works.
Yes.
So it's a catch-22 for everybody all the way around.
100%.
So,
and I want to sell them fire extinguishers, and I want them to use that same one for the next 5 years. That would be great. But if there is a time when you're in your house, in your garage, whatever it is, I want you to be able to just act quickly on it. You don't got to, no thought process, no. And I'm not going to say this about regular fire extinguishers, but it's a very simple step to use what we have. It's easy to clean up. There's no PFAS in it. There's all the things. Please, I'm going to say this. Nobody try this, but you can ingest it a little bit and it not harm you. It may treat you like a late night at the Waffle House, but it's not gonna hurt you. So we're as eco and green as you can get for the product. Yeah. And it do what it does.
Makes total sense.
And, it doesn't harm stitching. It doesn't harm, because that's a big question all the time. It doesn't harm. I'm not going to sell a product for a race suit where the stitches are going to fall out of it because I use it. Yep. And I would rather my suit stay together. Yeah. That would be insanity for me to sell that. And, cause I use it myself every race, and I love it because it's a no thought process thing for me. It's just as simple as, laundry detergent. You wash your suit, you spray it, you put it in your bag. It's just like a routine thing with me now.
Yeah.
And I get some people, it is one extra step, but the more, I guess the older I get or the more that I see things happen, I'm just like, okay, at what point was that extra 2 minutes it took for me to hang that thing up, spray it, then put it in my gear bag going to really affect my day? Because I've seen people with kids, their legs wrapped up and all these things because they were in the hospital for a week and they got, they're in the burn unit. They're going to the doctor every 3 or 4 days to get, juices just drained out of their skin. I'm like, at what point did that 2 minutes really hurt my day?
That 2 minutes seems like a really simple task when you compare it to all those scenarios.
Of time and $45 in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yes, you cannot buy a cheaper insurance policy.
Absolutely. Speaking of $45, as Kevin has said just 10 seconds ago, the topical spray is $45 a bottle. We also have a race day fire extinguisher, a marine fire extinguisher, and a home fire extinguisher. Those products are $40 a piece, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you have an extensive line here, and it's a fairly new product. It just came out last year at some point, and it's very successful. Like you said, Bear's been moving a lot of product up here in the Northeast for you. And my curiosity is, do you have anything else in the works that you can talk about to increase the product line, or are we just going to concentrate on the fire extinguishers and topical solution right now and just keep making it be the best product that it could possibly be?
I do have some ideas. I can't say what they are.
Totally understandable.
Right now.
Yeah.
But I do have some more things. Do I have a date? No. Do I have even an idea how it's even going to get done? No, but we didn't have that idea either when we had this one. Yeah. So, it does work itself out. We got a bunch of people behind the scenes, very smart, intelligent people, chemists and things of that nature that speak in words with X's and Y's in them that I don't understand. And we just have a bunch of great minds that are behind all the products that we have now currently and the ones that are hopeful to come in the future. But back to the extinguishers a little bit. The race day that they mentioned, that has like a different spray pattern to it. So the spray pattern was specifically designed so it could coat a body left to right, and you spray them up and down. You don't got to go side to side. It's a less of a direct hit, more of a widespread. Now the Marine, Home and Auto, let's see, what was the other one? We have an outdoor one as well.
Yeah.
And the industrial has more of a similar spray nozzle as the race day. The other three are more of a direct spray. And, we were thinking Home and Auto, usually it's going to be underneath the sink. Kid lights a pizza box on fire. It's a grease fire, whatever it is. It's not such a disastrous of a mess. Put the product out directly and, put the fire out, and then you just clean up and go right back to cooking. So we didn't want a big mess. Obviously, we wanted the healthy side of it as well with, the PFAS free. So you literally could spray the pan out, clean it up, go right back to cooking. You have no harmful chemicals that are in it. They're not going to make your food taste bad. They're not going to make you feel bad. So you can kind of just carry on with your day, and that goes for all of our products. So, we try to put some thought process behind it to just make it user friendly for everybody, because we all know that some things just aren't. And I like simple, very easy to use things. And I feel like we've done that, and we're going to try to continue to make things better, whether it be accessories or whether it be more products, just things of that nature. But, thanks to people like Bear and, the rest of the racing community, our product has taken off, and it is hard to come up with more stuff because we're barely keeping up with what we got. So
that's a good problem to have, my friend.
I'm happy about that, but, I do have more ideas, and I don't know if it is a year away, 2 years away, 5. I don't know what it is, but what we have now and the ideas that we had, very much, satisfies us on the product and the results that it has given us. Whether it be from a race car driver, welders, even, we do other stuff too that's outside of racing. So, all those things put together, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed working with people that I didn't know before. And, that's also a lot of fun, whether it be, fans, business partners, whatever it is. There's people that, have reached out and, spread the love, I guess, to, help support us.
It's amazing.
Warren Alston's a big advocate for me. He's big into the safety scene, and obviously he's our flagger for East Coast, USAC and stuff like that. And he's been promoting the heck out of it for me. And I got several corner workers at several tracks that have bought the extinguishers and the topical spray, and they're just all firm believers in the mindset that it's going to give them a few added seconds to help somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like we said earlier, every second does matter, but if we can ramp that up by 15, 20 seconds, we're in the game now.
Absolutely.
So that's always been our goal. And just because we know there are good people that, the firefighters and the EMTs, they do their job. We're not shitting on nobody.
That's right.
Because, without them, I've been in situations myself where, I either needed help or, be put out with a fire or whatever it is. And they've always been right there. And luckily I have, knock on wood, I've not been hurt more than just your normal. And, I haven't been burnt than just your normal. So
good. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah. So hats off to all the guys that even put themselves in that situation. One, willingly, and have try to better the sport and what we do, and create a good show, and then our product itself. We just want to make it as easy as possible for people to be as protected as possible.
Yep, absolutely.
And without it's not a fix all, it's not a Band-Aid either. It's just a solution that you can easily apply, and there's very minimum thought process. Anywhere from 1 year old to 100 years old can use it.
Absolutely.
So, right.
And it's very inexpensive. It's a very small investment for what it is. For what it is. Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It covers quite a bit, especially if we're talking suits and just race car drivers, for instance. It probably covers 10, 12 suits, depending on, how trigger happy you get. And, at that rate, you're spending max $4.50.
$4.50 for 20, 10 to 20 seconds of added protection. So,
we don't bat an eye at buying a hot dog for $4.50.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
And those are, that's an easy way to break it down, I guess. But, whenever I know there's a lot of parents with kids out there, there's a lot of parents that have kids that race. And, at the end of the day, you don't want any one of those situations to have to go through more than what they already do. The sport's dangerous enough, especially on the sprint car side.
Absolutely.
There's other things that obviously can happen other than a fire.
Yep.
We get that. But, that's why our sport has taken the responsibility of chassis people, fire people, suits, helmets, Hans devices, head and neck restraints. I use a hybrid. Those are really great. So it's like the sport has evolved so much. Seats, you see more seat manufacturers out there now that have created a very safe almost,
it's like a cocoon anymore,
Yeah, it's damn near, I don't want to say it, but almost bulletproof situation.
Right.
And, you got people on the seat insert side. So it's like people are doing their jobs.
They are.
And the sport has come so far in 10 years. I got one of the first seat inserts in like 2016. I want to say 17 maybe. So it's like in the last 8 to 10 years, it's come so far.
Yeah.
And that's just a testament to people giving a shit about the sport.
It's true.
And everybody loves to just bitch and gripe about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to like downgrade anybody that hasn't ever driven a race car, but I'm like, do you understand that this is on paper insanity to do what we do, and then y'all gripe about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like nobody ever gripes whenever they go to the circus because the guy was in there with the tigers. What the hell you think we're doing?
It's true.
Damn right.
It's so true. What a unique perspective.
You didn't jump on him and ride him. What a sissy. You're like, Jesus. What do you want?
He sucks.
That guy's terrible at his job. Okay, you get in there with that lion.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I tell you what, I wish we had another hour to go here. Kevin, you have been quite entertaining. I will say we have been laughing over here the whole time, but at the same time, you laid out some really, really important information for us as far as your Inferno Armor product, and great getting caught up here with you to see how your season's been going, and we wish you continued success. Looking forward to you coming into town here for Eastern Storm, obviously. We'll definitely be looking you up and chatting with you in person. It'll be good to do. And cannot thank you enough for giving your precious time to us this evening and chatting with us. And keep making Inferno Armor, because Bear keeps selling it.
Keep selling it. Proudly representing.
We'll keep making. Every time I see Bear's phone number pop up, I'm like, oh boy, he's ordering again.
Yeah. He's at it. And now Bear, if you didn't hear the beginning of the show, Bear has come up with a bracket system for the extinguishers, and it's 6061 T6 aluminum. It's all CNC'd. It's lightweight. It's as light as a feather, and it's just absolutely awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So we're going to be offering that. That'll mount right to.
I'm going to send one to Anthony so he can check it out.
Yeah. So it's going to be good stuff.
Perfect.
It's going to be good
people
stuff.
like you is what makes it all fun.
Hey,
so I appreciate that.
I grew up with Ronnie Dunstan in the Silver Crown car, and he was a big advocate for safety. He worked with Bill Simpson, particularly, designing fire suits back in the day. And he's been upside down, crushed, and burned. And man, anything I can do for this sport to represent safety, I'm all over it. Yep. So I appreciate you, man.
We're all over it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I appreciate it. That's it's a lot of good people that make this thing go around in a circle every year. So, it's been a lot of fun, and thank you guys for having me on. That's
oh my God,
been fun.
You were a riot, dude. It's
yeah.
It's been.
I'm short and bald, man. I gotta be funny.
No, you're getting the job done. Can't wait to see you when you come back into town here and hang out with us East Coast people, and just gonna be a lot of fun, man. Looking forward to checking you out, and we wish you continued success on your 2025 endeavors. And man, just keep plugging, get that team to gel together, and man, it's all going to start falling into place, my friend.
See you in victory lane.
Yeah, hopefully by the time I see you guys, we're not sucking, so we'll be all right.
You'll be
all right,
fine,
buddy.
Thank you, Kevin Thomas Jr. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye. What an awesome interview. He was cracking me up, man.
Could have went on for hours.
Oh my God. He is
awesome. Good people. Him,
really,
Whitney,
really good
his wife, Whitney, who runs the merch deal. They're like a two-man team.
How important is the merch for those guys that come to the Eastern Storm?
Yeah.
He even, everybody we talked to said that the merch on the Eastern Storm Tour is no joke.
When my son Tyler was helping Brady Bacon on East Coast Tour, when they were in town, they would be exhausted by the end of the night, and they'd be sold out. And she'd have UPS coming the next morning, and Ciciana is really good with the merch, and so is Whitney.
Yeah,
it's just huge. They just keep buying. Like you said, it's like you guys all lost your clothes. You buy 5 shirts a night. What the heck?
He said that about lost it. Yeah, what an awesome interview. It's great to get a little bit of the backstory on his racing from the lean-to to victory lane, man.
Yeah.
Unreal. It's amazing how humble some things can start out and how well they can end up. So it was nice to get a little bit of a backstory on the Inferno armor too. And as we always say every show, the Inferno armor is for sale. We always have it in stock here at Lowdown Entertainment. Topical solution, spray solution is $45 a bottle, and the fire extinguishers are $40. So get yours today. Put your order in. Check out Bear's Inferno Armor on Facebook. You can reach Bear through there if you don't have his number. So check him out. Order your stuff. Ben Kirkpatrick just said two of the nicest people, KTJ and Whitney.
Yes.
They're so fun to chat with, and also have amazing merch every time. KTJ and Bacon are always number one in merch. True story, Ben. And there's a host of people that have been popping up in the chat. We haven't had a chance to say. I was trying to keep up with it here a little bit as far as typing back, but we appreciate everybody tuning in. We've seen some faces that we haven't seen for a little while, so it's really good stuff. What a show.
Awesome.
What a show.
Let's just hit Leo's League again before we get off.
Yeah, we're going to have Leo's League. I have one PSA before we get off the air, but we can do Leo's League first. I'll do my PSA at the end because I'm probably going to hurt feelings. So that's that. I'm just putting that out there right away. So Leo's League Saturday, 9 to 5. Be there.
Basket raffle starts tomorrow, 6 to 9. In case you can't make it Saturday. Schnecksville Fire Company at the social hall. The place is packed. Mm-hmm. If you're a basket raffler, whatever they would call them people,
yes,
stop by.
And we have said this at the top of the show, and we've said this at other shows too. Some of these prizes are literally worth hundreds and hundreds,
if not thousands.
If not thousands.
There's some greenhouses there. Like, I was looking through the stuff last night. There's some big top dollar prizes. It's a giant cooler full of booze. What did we have last year? Motorcycles, dirt bikes, pit bikes.
Yeah.
There's a chainsaw, a nice brand new chainsaw there last night. I saw it was really freaking nice.
Yeah.
Watches,
it's
Michael
no
Kors bags.
Yeah.
What was that knife set they had? $100. Cutco. Yeah. Cutco knife set. Like Ginsu shit.
Yeah.
You know? Really
Slice
cool.
and dice, baby.
Right.
Slice and dice. Yeah, so all the products are no joke. So if you can't make it Saturday, get there tomorrow. Get in there. Get your stuff. Get your tickets. get moving.
Yeah, we'll be there all day Saturday. Lots of cars, trucks, and cool cars and more.
When you see us, stop on by. I do believe Miss Motorsports 2025 is going to be on hand for the event.
Yep.
She typically has her car on display along with her brother.
Yep.
So I'm assuming, again, that they're going to have their cars on display.
Correct.
Just a lot of cool people. Again, if you see us roaming around, we'll probably have our LDE merch on. Look for us. Don't throw rocks at us. Come on up and say hi.
Yeah.
How you doing? Save the rock throwing for later if you can. I just see Timmy Rutherford is watching right now. Timmy Rutherford in the house. We're looking forward to hanging out with Timmy on Saturday. It's always a blast to hang out with Timmy.
Fun fact. When Doug Manmiller's car comes to Leo's League,
he wins.
He wins at Grandview that night.
This is a very true story. Very true story. Dennis Hilbert, we have great stuff. I vouch for the easy use of spray on my officials clothing.
Yep.
Hope I never find out how well it and the extinguisher works, though.
Yep.
That's
Dennis.
a very real thing that we talk about a lot here, Dennis. We love that everybody uses the products, but we don't want them to use it. So keep up the good work. We appreciate your patronage. Thank you so much.
Sunday's Mother's Day.
Sunday is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there and some of the dads that play the role of the mother. So
it's a real thing.
It is a real thing. Women are by far the most superior being on the planet because they have to bear children. Being a girl is tough, isn't it? It's not.
I don't
easy.
know. Oh, you're not talking
I'm not
to me.
talking to you.
I wasn't watching.
Yeah. She's laughing hysterically.
And we've lost her.
And we lost her.
Yeah.
Glad to make you laugh.
Mrs. Bear's in the house.
Yes. Yes.
It can't be easy being her.
No. Out of all the women in the world, she by far has the worst
get
job.
a trophy.
Yeah. There's not a trophy big enough because everybody gets a participation trophy. No. There is sainthood in her future. There is no doubt
There's
about
a new
that.
pope in town.
I heard, and he's Native American.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I heard. I don't know. I don't follow a whole lot.
Whatever.
I'm not one of those guys. Whatever.
White smoke.
White smoke, black smoke, whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Feltenberger's been called a mother.
That's true. Yeah, when you're a race official, you do get called a mother more often than not. That is a true story.
What's your PSA?
My PSA is this. I've seen some posts lately, and I've seen them for a long time. And I just want to put it out there that people need to start doing things a little bit differently. Though it typically starts out like my racing weekend did not go as we had hoped. Yada, yada, yada. We started here. We ended up there. This broke, that broke. This guy sucks. That guy sucks. We got ran over. All the normal stuff that you see in all those typical kind of posts. Now, here's where it bothers me. And at the end, they say, can't thank my crew enough, and I can't thank all of my sponsors enough for helping us out. And that's the end of the post.
Oh, they don't mention anybody.
They don't mention their sponsors. I'm going to tell you something right now. These men and women, sponsors, give their hard-earned money for you to go drive in a circle on a Friday or Saturday night. The least that you can do is mention their name and or company that is providing said sponsorship money for you. It's lame to just say thanks to my sponsors. It's you gotta, if you want to play this game, everybody talks about racing being a business, yada, yada, yada. It is a business. That's all it is at the end of the day. So be professional and just list. We have a host of sponsors. And
we do.
I would feel horrible at the end of the show if we said, thanks to our sponsors. Thanks for coming. See you later. Bye. And those sponsors probably would feel screwed because I know if I was sponsoring somebody and they just said, thanks to all the people that helped me. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So
we need to do better.
I think it sucks when somebody gets out, wins, loses, whatever, and they can't remember who their sponsors are.
I understand it in the heat of the moment. Everything's going on. But at the same time, turn around and look at your car.
Right.
And if you don't know your sponsors, which you should, if you don't know them, learn them. Hey, Kathy Green, Ace is the place.
Ace is the place.
Kathy Green and Geezer Finelli Racing, they promote Ace is the place and Colin Pizza and all their other sponsors every week. And that's what everybody should be doing. Social media is free via Facebook. It's a very useful tool. Typically, Facebook is nothing more than a cesspool of life anymore, but it is still a very good and useful tool. And
everybody's on it.
Everybody's on it. Everybody knows how to navigate it. Everybody knows what's going on.
We have an Ace. We have a Haddisties.
We do have a Haddisties, but it is Ace, and it is the play. And guess what I just did?
You broke another pen. You are
very consistent.
Jesus Lord.
So that was my PSA for today. Do better. We all need to do better. And get those sponsors' names and their product. You know, get it out there. Talk about it.
Dreamweaver's with us.
How you doing, Dreamweaver? Good to see you, man. He has not popped up on mine.
Well, he's got popped up.
Yeah. So you're special. I am not.
So I'm going to announce our sponsors.
Yes,
and
thank them. This is what, because that's what
we're
should be done. We're done.
We're out.
We've had enough.
We filled an hour and 45 minutes.
It's not too shabby.
So we could not do this without our sponsors: Inferno Armor, Sublimated, Smith Fabrication, Aqueduct, Roy Danner Paving, Weichel Sportswear, Pioneer Pole Building, Laney Lick Racing, CTC Construction, Haddisties Ace Hardware, VersaLift East, Timmy Shock Lab, and last but not least, been released to go back to racing, Roselli Racing.
Very happy to hear that. He got all fixed up after his appendectomy, and glad to see him up and moving around and doing much better.
And he's getting more healing time because it never stops raining.
It doesn't stop raining. It doesn't stop. So if you're coming to Leo's League, as I said before, look us up.
Yep.
Check it out. Go have a good time. It's all fun. And if you're going racing tomorrow night, if it doesn't rain, I should say, well wishes to everybody competing. And we hope everybody has a great weekend. Same with Saturday and Sunday. So from all of us here at Lowdown Entertainment, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much for interacting with the chat and keeping that going. So from all of us here, good night and God bless.